Hi guys and good evening. I hope mmekuwa na wiki fiti and finally tumefika hapa another Monday to be able to talk about mambo yenye inatusumbua na how we're going to live this life and move together. So mimi nimekuwa na wiki poa and I hope that you've tried as much as possible to at least pata msee mwenye unaweza ongelesha, mtu mwenye you can share a thing or two with him about vile mambo yako inaenda ama vile mambo haiendi, so that ujue vile unaweza pata kamsaada mahali. Na today I'd like to talk about something yenye inajua inatu affect sisi wote, something that is we know is huwa hatupendi kuambiwa about the reality of it, but it's something that really affects us, na especially for the youth. And this is not just about the boy child but kila msee. Mademu wanasemanga ni like a committee, but we know that having friends who are influential in our lives is something that we cannot avoid. Na one thing I come to realize about life na everything that we are doing ama penye tumefika right now is there is always a way you'll have friends who are influencing you to do things zenye maybe sometimes you don't even know the reason why you're doing it, but because ni beshte yangu na najua hezi nipoteza, so you decide to also do the same thing. But you don't really know that by doing those things without you maybe thinking about yourself, you end up kujiingiza kwa ditch zenye manze kitambo ufikirange kutoka, unapatanga like maybe it's a bit too late. Now today we'd like to talk about peer pressure and how peer pressure ina affect our mental sanity, how peer pressure ina affect our mental stability, na tunafika kwa zile points zenye once things go wrong, the same friends will not even be there to help you. Sijui kama unaweza relate na kitu najaribu kusema. Like you've had this cluster of people, ama you had these people wenye mmekuwa mkifanya things pamoja. Unapata huyu maybe amekuwa ni msa wa sherehe for example, na wewe ulikuwa unapiga tu shughuli yako, maisha yako tu kama kawaida, but since ile unataka kufit in, unataka kukua party ya hii mbogi, so wewe pia unajianza kujipata unaweza kuweka schedule yako in a way that iweze kufit this type of people, so that muonekane tu mlikuwa pamoja, ionekane like hey, so and so hawa say wanapiga moves pamoja, but behind closed doors haujui life yenye ubeshte yako anaishi ni aje. Na pia yeye pia hatatambua that wewe life yako kuna vile unajaribu ku make some adjustments so that you can be able to be there ama show up anytime wanaitana. Na at the time ya kwanza ni fun kwa sababu unaona like everything iko sawa, ni beshte yangu, siwezi find it hard, ni weekend tu peke yake. But then that weekend becomes another weekend and another weekend and another weekend. By the time unashtukia mwaka imeisha, ukiangalia everything umefanya with your weekend is nothing. Umekuwa tu out there, umekuwa ukipiga shughuli nao, na unapata maybe pengine hata vile beshte yako shughuli zenye anafanya, au ni wale wa kukwambianga ni God wale kusema ni God, na ujui like the way ana live life yake, like ana live aje, but unaona tu vitu zake zinasonga, wewe unarudi unaweza kustruggle, unakaa mtaani unaweza kuona manze, last week tulitaja story na bills pale hivyo, na tulitaja story na responsibilities. Those some of the things zenye for you they're supposed to be a priority, but sasa unapata you end up choosing the pressure because of the friends without you knowing you're choosing the pressure, until time sasa ina come and spill over to you to a point yenye start questioning yourself like how did I even get here. Na the worrying and the saddening part about this whole thing is time yenye una go under, time yenye everything is going left, these friends will never go left with you. They will just like leave you there, and they know automatically they will find another cluster that they're going to hang out with, the people when they will fit their sherehe bill, the people that they will fit their type of life. And that is why we usually talk about people having friendships or relationships are convenience. We don't really get aligned with the purposes that you are here for. You don't really have these people around you with the things that really matter to you, or what you're supposed to be doing as a person. But the fact that you just wanted to fit in, the fact that you know, mimi na so and so tunaweza endana, mimi na so and so maybe mapero ama pengine whatever tuko tunafanya pamoja, like ni about same thing. So you keep yourself together, but ukiangalia whatever you guys are doing is nothing, because number one, there is no purpose. Number two, whatever mnafanya ni because so and so is doing it, acha pia mimi nifanye. Then we used to have, I remember time when I used to go out a lot. It used to fika at a point where you are telling yourself, if mabisho wangu wote wanaenda out, mimi nabaki kwa nyumba nikifanya nini? What am I doing in the house? Acha pia mimi pia nifanye nini? Nipige shughuli nao, nitembe nao, and then yes, ni leo tu ama ni weekend tu, but next time nitasema zi. But unapata the first time you have a taste of that is how it goes. But now the question is, how does that contribute to you as a person, especially when you start having difficulties in achieving the things you need to achieve? How does that contribute to you as a person when life inaanza kukubit na you now need to do necessary adjustments, because now at this point is not out of pleasure. At this point now, like, things are now getting serious. Things are now becoming much more difficult for you, that you now have to start and plan your life afresh. Now probably unapata at this point, maybe when you hustler too, at this point you don't really have much going on with your life, but now the little that you have, you now have to make sure these things are fitting. Because now, put it for example, you have bills, you have projects, but at the same time you also have to keep up with the life your weekend. Now maybe the way economy inaenda and all those things, you find that it is so hard for you to even just have money for the bills, leave alone the projects. So how are you going to fit in kwa historia kwenda sherehe? So unaanza kupigwa na stress unaanza kukutandikia pale hivyo. Now your friends will not understand the fact that you'll now start telling them, hey, maze leo stamek, wacha ni yenyewe mpige shughuli. They will always be gracious enough to tell you, awefanya hivi, we kuja, then the next time utafanya nini, utabalance. Ndio tunatumia. We kuja, then the next time tutabalance. So unaona, mbona na nikekwa hii nyumba pia stress tu nitandike tu. Siacha tu niende nikae na these people, mimi ni feel fiti, nikuja mtaa kesho itajipanga. But then the next day you wake up with even much bigger problems. The next day you wake up, unapata ile problem yako ya before bado iko tu pale na kungoja, but now you also have another day that you wake up hangovered, you are being less productive, and nothing can you do to help yourself get out of that. So today I'd like to just talk about, you guys kindly look at the people that you're working with, look at the people that you put or you keep around you. These are the same people who would either make you or break you. Because when everything goes left, you will be the only person left standing. You will be the only person who has your life in your hands to deal with. They will not be there to help you. And now we're trying to just make sure that all the decisions that you make, kindly ensure that this type of friends ama this type of pressure does not get to you. Because ukishaanza kukua stressed, ukishaanza kukua na issues za how to balance your life, ukishaanza kukua na issues zenye you now have to struggle to fit in, hakuna day uta live in peace, because your life will always be something that you constantly trying to overcome, something that you constantly trying to win. Now it gets worse when now they realize that you cannot offer anything, so they start drifting away. Once they start doing that, you know, unaenda kukua even stressed zaidi, kwa sababu sasa the people who would make you feel good are no longer there, and the life that you could have lived and maybe ungefikiria differently, now this life imefika to a point yenye inakutandika, everything about whatever you're trying to do imekataa. Now we all know, if you are not mentally stable, there is no way you're going to be productive even at work or even just doing your things in the house. So mimi now I'm trying to just like urge you guys, like, it's good to have friends, but have people with quality, have people with purpose. See where your life is headed, and then decide, whom do I want to have around you. Mm. Wanasema show me your friends and I'll show you who you are, but at the same time pia remember, you attract who you become. So ukikuwa mtu mwenye life yako tu ni life ninakuwa lured, ninakuwa pressured with anyone and everyone, then that means wewe mwenye you don't even know your purpose. And it's so tricky, it's dangerous to live without a purpose. So be very, very careful with this type of people. Just choose your people, sometimes it's good to even just have 2 or 3 people, but at the end of the day, ukiangalia life yako ni the same people that you can still go to and talk to them and tell them niaje, this thing is crazy, hii mambo bana penye imefika ni hard, and they'll try help you, offer you solutions. But don't have people around your life that anytime you tell them things are not okay, they're the same people are telling you hata sisi pia tumeona pia things are not okay, but fanya hivi, so you come hivi, we go have a drink or something, and do nothing about it. You will drink, you forget it for that moment, but the next day you wake up, you have triple the problems. And then we also have this other problem that affects us, and still but it has something to do with peer pressure, the much need for validation. Do you know, you as a person, you have all the power to do what is expected of you and to just follow like your path hivyo without someone telling you, good job, you're doing this right, uko sawa. But the human mind imekuwa designed in a way that we sometimes so much hunger for validation. Sometimes we really need this validation kwa ubaya yenye una feel like bila mse kuniambia bana manze you're doing a great job, na feel like ni kama whatever I'm doing is nothing. But there's something I once learned, that grinding in silence builds the man. You knowing the exact path that you're supposed to follow, knowing the exact thing that you're doing about your life is more than enough to have that validation. The best you can do is always just find yourself in a constant learning position that will always help you to ensure that any step you make will go in the right direction. But what happens, hypothetically speaking, what happens if now you're so much bent on getting this validation and then you don't get it? It breaks you down. If it breaks you down, it affects your productivity. Ikiku break down, ina affect your thinking, inafanya una feel like ni kama you're less of a person. It makes you feel like ni kama everything that you're doing is just wrong, and then you start second guessing yourself. And there is no worse enemy to your progress than you being doubtful and you being second guessing yourself over time. That thing will kill your morale. It will kill your dreams. Now, we are not here to just see people killing dreams. We're not here to just see yourself going in a ditch that we know clearly these things can be talked about and they can be helpful to you. So don't rely so much on people. Don't be so dependent on people to point you to the direction that you feel that you already know that is where you want to go. They will not do much for you like you do that for yourself. There were times, and I think this thing is, for me, I'd say it really killed my confidence when I started realizing that the type of validation I used to get from people were not the real validations that I was looking for. But since in my mind nilikuwa najua, the moment Mori ameniambia bro, uko fiti, na unapata hata the validation yenye unatafuta pia seti ni vitu za maana. Some of these things ni vitu zenye they could even just kill you literally, but the fact that unaambiwa hapo uliweza, hapo good, we find that thing ina fuel your ego to a point yenye unajiona ni kama umekuwa kabazu fulani. But in real sense, most of the time they usually tell you these things, they do not tell you the truth. Now, we once said, everything that you need lies within you. You have all that it takes to make you you. You have all that it takes to ensure that life yenye unaishi, hii ndio life yenye mimi nataka ifollow hivi. whether these guys are watching, whether they will tell me good job, but as long as you know whatever you're doing is the right thing, iko aligned to the purpose of why you're here. Because truth be told, some of these people are not going to be out here for your success. They're not going to be telling you, hey bro, niaje unapiga kazi safi. They will still go sit down and discuss you and say how bad of a person you are. So it will not really matter to them. It will not like really be something in it. They'll be like, okay, this guy's making progress, so we appreciate him. They will always find negative stuff to say about you. So why would you lean on their validation? So today, this is just to remind you that wewe ni msemngori. Now, even though sometimes you've maybe gone through all these things, there is always peace beyond chaos. Life could be chaotic not because you wanted it to, but sometimes you find yourself in situations that put you in those chaos. But it doesn't really mean that is the end of the road. What it just means is you have to pause for a minute and then figure your life out, see the purposes of why you're here, and then redirect that, so that the next few days, the next few months you live, you now start to get yourself into a grip and get hold of yourself into everything that you need, so that you continue to live your life in a way that would really be impactful for you, to your people, to the people that matter to you, and even to God, So usijali, don't feel like it's the end of the road. We are here to make sure that each journey tunawalk pamoja. We're here to make sure that this journey we are moving together, and that you don't have to put so much power into people who would not really contribute into your wellness and into your growth. Your mental health is very important, and your productivity heavily relies on you being stable. Your productivity heavily relies on you being well put on your well-being. So majama, let's take this mental thing seriously. Tusikuwe tunapatana as a cluster, but all we can do is put ourselves down. Let's talk. Let's find ways to help each other. And anytime you want to talk about some of these things, kindly just reach out. And we're going to move forward in a way that you won't even imagine, because sometimes it's not even about offering solutions, but sometimes it's just about being courageous enough to speak up, being vulnerable enough to accept that things are not moving, things are not okay, and this is how I'd like my life to turn out to be. So that is all I had for you guys today. We're still gonna talk. We're still going to do a lot of amazing stuff together. We're still going to make sure that we are hitting this mental illness thing until it will talk. We're not going to allow ourselves to suffer in any way. And kindly do not, and I repeat, do not be silent. Peace beyond chaos is all about ending the silence and healing the mind. So you have an amazing week. Have a week that you're going to sit down and reflect on the set of choices that you're going to make, and ensure that any choice you make contributes positively to your mental well-being and to your mental stability. My name is Otieno Stavon, and until next week, stay peaceful. See you.